All right, first look of the day for everybody watching on YouTube later, watching live on the stream at twitch.tv/the_control freak. Playing some Grixis Shadow with slight addition. We're throwing in a couple Murktide Regents here to see how they do. No idea how they're going to pan out, but I'm curious. We ended up cutting the Croxes, the two Croxes for the two Murktides. Hopefully it just gives us like a big evasive body that's hard for our opponents to deal with. Lets us clog up the board a little bit and attack through in the air when we need to. Sideboard, not too much has changed. Cut the second Soul Guide for a second Unlicensed Hearse. Running a couple Dress Downs, couple Mystical Disputes, Flusterstorm. Let's just run into it. See what happens. Modern Super Qualifier this weekend. We might have to do that. We might have to do that. It's like a whole bunch of Cascade up towards the top of the leaderboards. One of the things that's been pretty interesting recently is I've gone back and forth between like whether or not every individual shadow list I see, whether I categorize it as a league list or a challenge list. For example, if a deck is more tuned to like a specific 3 decks or so that you think are popular, then it's way more of a challenge list than a league list, because challenges are more likely to be run through by individuals who are like renting decks or playing whatever they think is going to win that event. Where I feel like I prefer to play league lists more often than not. See, Bean Zera, thank you so much for the follow. Yeah, hope you're having an awesome Wednesday so far. But like league lists are usually more open, more general answers. You got like the modern litmus test hand. Like, does it have an answer for a turn 1 Ragavan on the draw? Yes. Does it have enough lands to cast what you've got in hand, or can you reasonably get to it? Yes. Cool. Keep. Like, nothing else matters. It's just don't die to a turn 1 Ragavan. Let's go ahead and kill this. Opponent mulliganed. Probably Yawgmoth. That's a reasonable assumption. It's a Geralt's Messenger. Nope. I will take one. You've seen through my bluff. For Grist, sure. Alright. So let's go. What? I'm not going to be able to cast multiple things. I can put one of these into hand. Like, let's say Shredder to hand, Unholy Heat to exile, attack Ragavan at Grist. If they block, Ragavan goes to the yard and I get to Unholy Heat the Grist. If they don't block, Ragavan gets through and I get to Unholy Heat the Grist. So then it comes down to what of these two cards do I want to keep in hand more. Terminate might actually be a little bit better. Give me the second removal spell since I've got the Shadow. So let's attack at Grist. Doesn't feel great to trade off, but I need to get this this Grist off the board. Hiya. And if they do have like a Yawgmoth here, it's not the scariest Yawgmoth in the world. Any chance I increase my mic volume? I can. Let's see. Problem is, I don't know too much about, like, adjusting gain and things like that. That's rough. Is that any... I don't think that's... Is that any better? Give that a shot. Like, it looks like it's coming in a little bit louder. I don't know if that's too loud or... Alright. What am I doing? I could Expressive Iteration... Like, I feel like I just need to Thoughtseize, terminate Shadow, and use this Expressive Iteration to try to find something, something a little better. It's good now? Alright. Or they're just going to go for this. Alright. This is decent for me. I just have to use one of these terminates now. Alright, so let's go Iteration. Ledger Shredder to hand. I'm going to go Island to exile. Swing at Grist. And we're just going to play the Shredder. Ah. Alright. Want hearses, E, terminate. Dress down's good. Grist is a pain card to deal with. Oh, not Channeler. Ragavan, I want out. At least 3. Probably a pretty good argument for all 4. Drown in the Lock gets really awkward with Endurance coming in. So if I cut the last Ragavan, cut an Inquisition, go like that. All right. It's better now. Good deal. Seen a lot of Yogg players siding out Wolf because Rag players siding out Rags. That seems like a terrible idea on their side. Like, Young Wolf's just a decent card to have. Stands in front of a lot of stuff. Alright, start getting these blue sources. Like, yeah. Just taking the payoff. Sure. Don't like Shadow in this matchup. Actually, on the play, I prefer Ragavan over Shadow because Shadow just gets chumped. Ragavan just trades with half of a Young Wolf. Like, that seems 10 times worse to me. I think I'm probably just going to dress down this Wall of Roots so they can't double spell here. Like, I can't imagine a world where you say, hey, Ragavan's good, but Death Shadow's bad against a bunch of Young Wolves and the likes. Like, I just don't know if I can buy that one. You can win games with Ragavan if the Yogg player doesn't have Young Wolf. Sure, but at the same time, if they do have Young Wolf, your card just looks embarrassingly bad. And, like, there's not a whole lot of in-between there. And I'd rather err on the side of, like, my cards being good than having to hope my opponent doesn't have some relevant thing. And Shadow's always embarrassingly bad. Whew. My heart. You didn't have to say that one like that. Oh. This is like that, hey, we really need another spell points. Like, give me an expressive iteration. Let's go ahead and kill the one that doesn't come back. Okay. I like 18 lands, but holy crap, did people lose their minds the last time I played 18 lands on stream and like missed my second land drop a couple times. They're just like, 20 lands is standard, 20 lands is stock. You shouldn't be playing less than 20 lands. Like, well, this is 19 and it's looking real good. How many Drowning Sorrows we got in the board? There we go. Okay. So let's go Drown to hand, Fence to the bottom, Terminate to exile. Played 18 yesterday, went 8-2. I mean, I feel like with 4 Ragavan, 4 Mishra's Bauble, 4 Expressive Iterations, like 18 should be fine. And if you're flooding out with 18, chances are it's more than likely because like, or if you are missing land drops with 18 when you want to, it's more than likely because your curve is too high. And you're trying to play like the 4, what's it called? The 4 Ledger Shredders with Croxas and like K commands and stuff like that. You have a company or a chord. Yeah. Like, Yawgmoth's another one of those matchups that I feel like you see it once or twice every blue moon. You're like, oh, I need to devote extra resources because of Yawgmoth. But there's, like, not enough players to really warrant that. Like, the conversion rate on Yawgmoth is probably pretty decent, but I don't think there's just enough people playing it in the leagues to really make me want to adjust a lot for it. I mean, at least I'd consider boarding out Shadows over Drowns, for example. So this is going back to that argument of playstyle, right? Like, I think Shadow's an important part of the matchup because it outgrows Yawgmoth triggers, it punishes your opponent for getting too aggressive early, and allows you to set your opponent on Abyss mode in the late game to make a top deck Yawgmoth worse. But at the same time, I recognize that a lot of that notion for me is derived around the idea of playing Death Shadow with Temur Battle Rage, where it was a lot better than like the current versions where you don't have that oops, I win potential. Know what I'm playing in the sub challenge? The Mirror? Nice. And Sexix, what's up? Like, I've won a lot of games against Yawgmoth with Shadow because of Temur Battle Rage. And I need to make some adjustments to how I approach the matchup since we don't have Battle Rage anymore. So that, like, I'll agree with completely. Worst matchup for Shadow is blue-white control, right? Would I consider that to be the worst matchup? I think it comes down to playstyle a lot in that matchup. Like, the only times I really find myself losing to blue-white is when they top deck something. Like, turn one, I hit them with Hand Disruption, and they top deck a Chalice of the Void, or where is it? There's blue-white control. What is this, 4-color? Hadn't seen it much. Jund is pretty bad against blue-white. Blue-black, favorite against blue-white. Like, I don't think it's an oh my god, you need to be terrified matchup. But, like I keep saying, it comes down to play style. I usually have a lot more reserved play style, so that helps me against blue-white control. Where I know a lot of other players are a lot more aggressive and trying to like slam threats as quickly as they can, and that hinders them. Cavern of Souls has got to be Rhinos, right? Not Living End. It's like I'd rather get down my double shadow here. Imagine TBR and Murktide. I think we've done it before now that I'm pretty positive we've done it. I think we splashed red in the Dimir Shadow League one time for Battle Rages. Alright, we know their hand perfectly, right? How many Murktides are we playing? 2. And like one of the big drawbacks that I feel like we didn't mention, and I probably should have, is if you're playing Murktide, you are losing out on Gigantha. So let me double check. Beseiju, Snow-Covered Island, Force Negation. So yeah, we know their hand perfectly. So we can get in a couple points here. I'm going to wait till they make a decision off this Waterlog Grove. Alright. Murktide with TBR has Scourge feelings. Feels pretty close. Suspend a Footfalls. Nice. So we know their hand perfectly again, which means we get to fire off this iteration with no fear. We'll bin a Shadow. I'm looking for fetch lands and stuff. Yikes. Nope. Want lands. You're drawing into not something I really care about. Survey says not a fetch land. But like after this turn, I'm basically just relying on Channeler to get me to the promised land. I've got removal spells for a couple Rhinos. I can counter this Suspended Footfalls. I know everything that's currently in their hand. So they've got Beseiju and Force of Negation. Let's get the Force of Negation out of hand. Yeah, plenty of clock. There we go. Yep. They've got to know this is a hand or a land on top, right? The Mobius of Death Shadows. It's as big as it needs to be. Yep. Are we playing Ledger Shredder 2 or no bird list? 2 Ledger Shredders. 2 Ledger Shredders, 2 Murktides. Hiya. We can fight. We can win. Hiya. Go, go, Power Rangers. Go, go, Power Channelers. Alright. The old Rhinos. The Rhinoceri. The Rhinoceroses. Trim on a couple Unholy Heats because they don't always kill a Rhino. Might want to trim on the 4th Ragavan on the draw. Maybe interested in Mystical Dispute because it counters Force Negation in case they try to make Rhinos on my turn. So let's go like... maybe like that. I can dig that. Sure. Bobble myself here. See if I want to fetch this away, which I do believe is in the cards. I'm fine getting Blood Crypt there, because like I'm not playing out Murktide on turn 2. If I'm not playing it out till turn 3, then it doesn't matter, because I got the double blue anyway. Ooh, am I going to get an attack in with a Murkt, or with a Ragavan? Is it happening? Is it happening? It is. Ooh. Let's play Iteration. Blue, red. So Iteration to hand, terminate to the bottom, channeler to exile. Get a Steam Vents, play a channeler. Say go. Do you think Feed the Swarm could be good against Blood Moon decks in this list? It's hit or miss. It's like Feed the Swarm is cool or about hitting exactly Blood Moon if you've got your basic swamp. But you like never want to Feed the Swarm to hit a what's it called? Words are tough. To hit a Murktide Regent. Like staring at the card like, oh, what's it called? You never really want to Feed the Swarm to hit a Murktide. Yeah, I can play this. Still have Shadow up. Even if I see something I want to keep on top. Do I want Flusterstorm? Probably. There's a decent chance there's another Rhino spell in my future. Okay. Now let's think. Do I want to iteration go ahead and add Flusterstorm to hand? I think I do. Like, I think I can win even if they get a decent attack in here with Murktide plus Shadow. Assuming I keep more Rhinos off the board. So let's go Mire to the bottom, Delta to Exile. I can play this because I've got basic Island. Let's see. See, only to protect our possibility to cast Murktide. I mean, for the most part, if you have your basic swamp, you like don't really need the feed the swarm. I think I'll trade with this Shardless Agent. Alright. So it's a good call to keep the Flusterstorm. Or to go ahead and get the Flusterstorm. How big of a meme is Mono Red Eldrazi? Yes. The answer is yes. Alright. So, barring like double ice, we should be okay. Let's go 1, 2, 3, whatever. Alright. Big bucks, no double ice. Double fire then, yeah. You right. Should have specified new fire and ice. How dare I? Or no cryptic command, like land, cryptic, tap your team. It's just gone. No, fire me. Do they have the double fire? Am I getting slow rolled? Oh, baby. Okay, so if I push a Rhino, that gives me Delirium. I've got 9 in the air, so they have to block both of my shadows on the ground. So that is correct. Venue. So now they have to... I don't die to Shardless because they have to block both of my shadows. I just have to not get Fire and Iced off the top. I think that's their only out, is another Fire off the top. Whoa. Oh, Bone Crusher. Good call. You're right. Bone Crusher or Fire. But everything else we were okay. Gray Fox, what's up? Don't think this hand's doing it for me. Oh, even worse. Do I still play Vans? Occasionally. Not as much as I used to, but as far as I know, like Modern and Pioneer Fire and then Draft on Fridays. Yeah, I'll keep that on top. Getting back into paper. Nice. Not missing too much, so. Like, I haven't played a ton of paper at Vans recently. What is this? Mountain Forest Plains. Land off Yorion. If I get Ren in 6th here. I mean, I guess this could be 4-color pile. I didn't think that was a land they were interested in, but shows what I know. As a Yawg player, I'm not used to having such an easy time against Rhinos. Rhinos like in the worst matchup in the world for Shadow. Should be pretty favorable for you, but I've had a lot of bad luck against Rhinos. So I hate saying like anything is favorable. It's pretty unfortunate that I drew this Steam Vents. Because it means that, like, if they hadn't have had Teferi, I'd have to shock in Steam Vents to cast Iteration if I wanted to Iteration plus Inquisition. Unless I hope to hit another land off Iteration, but I don't really want to hit another land. Alright, so let's go Shredder and heat the Teferi. Ditch Inquisition. It's like, I guess this is Yawg, or 4-color Omnath. I could have killed the Wren, but I didn't want to kill the Wren. Wanted to kill the Teferi. The old Renegade Rallier back a land, eh? Prismatic ending. Yep. Alright. Let's go push to hand, Ragavan to the bottom, Watergrave to exile, and play a big Murktide. Hiya. Show me that solitude. Solitude or Teferi or March of Otherworldly Light for 27. Big Teferi. Alright, just hardcast Solitude. Alright, so that answers both of the threats. If I want it to. Probably better just kill this and kill Wren. Pile things, indeed. Like, somebody asked what the worst matchup for Shadow is, and I'd probably say this is up close to it. The pile deck's just getting like all the free things, and especially when they're running like Ice Fang Coatls, and now all of a sudden your removal spell is a threat, is a draw spell. It's a lot to try to overcome. And just get back Wren in 6. Alright. We'll scoop to that. Like, if I'm playing against a Yorion pile deck that's playing Renegade Rallier and Ice Fang Coatl, I don't think there's anything I can do that, like, makes much of a difference here. I think I'm going to trim a land because the game's going to go pretty long regardless. Trim a non-black land so Turok doesn't get any worse. I'm not going to cut all the shadows. I might cut one. Like, I agree, Shadow's my worst card. Maybe 2. But I don't want to cut all of them. I need to keep in some amount of pressure. Because, like, the way you win the matchup is find a spot to make them stumble. And Shadow's, like, your best threat at being able to take advantage of them stumbling. Lusterstorm. Vivian of the Hunt. If I can find the second land here, Thoughtseize forces the Flusterstorm, and then I get to Iteration next turn. Twisted, what's up? Happy Wednesday to you as well. Alright, strand down, land, land. Maybe we get lucky and they like Elidomri's call for a Renegade Rallier and try to hit the land drop and I get to like dress down the Rallier. Nope. Otherwise, I think I have to just fire off this dress down. I think hitting my land drops is more important than anything. So, Turok to hand, Iteration to the bottom, Drown to exile. Are they going to Elidomri's call? Nope. And we do have Delirium, so if they go for like a sorcery speed Omnath or something, I can kill it. Land. So close. Drown, Shadow to the bottom, Fence to exile. I don't think I'm dashing. Let's see. Santi Hernandez Jr. Thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're having an awesome Wednesday wherever you're at in the world. Appreciate you coming by and hanging out. Non-black source there was pretty unfortunate. Okay. can kill an Omnath with the draw trigger on the stack. Why? Prismatic Ending, Vivian, unknown. Why would you Omnath first? Like, I get they just have Prismatic Ending, but I guess they had to shock in. They wouldn't have been able to have Prismatic Ending. Sure. Let's find a land. Okay. Let's go Bauble to hand, Inquisition to the bottom, Swamp to exile. I don't think I want Ragavan. Yeah, Turok would have been sweet for like 4 turns now. 3 turns. Okay. That's solid. So if they go for like an Omnath first, for Omnath into fetch land, we got Mystical Dispute. Didn't tap out for Vivian. What does that mean? Do I just want to let them have this and kick my Turok? Yeah. No. I'm just going to let them have this. Get Turok. Like, I think I would rather get the Turok down and hold up Drown in the Lock. Since they can't attack through my Turok. And they don't add Yorion to hand. Why would you not add Yorion? Don't add Yorion and then you don't play anything. 2 turns of not adding Yorion. No, I think I'm just going to sit on Dispute. Are you saying, like, your deck has enough value off the top deck so you don't need Yorion? Alright, anything I want to change up? Do I want Flusterstorm since they showed me Flusterstorm? Nah. If they're like going heavy on the playing the reactive control role, I don't want to try to outvalue them on that side. Geo, thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're having an awesome Wednesday wherever you're at in the world. Appreciate you coming by and hanging out. Like, you don't want to get into a situation where both decks are trying to assess themselves as the control deck or the control role. Because, like, your opponent's going to do that a whole lot better than you are. We are absolutely the aggro deck here. Aggro deck with, like, a few minor control elements. And control element of I really hope my opponent doesn't have turn 2 Ren and 6. Yep. Alright. So I do have the Veil of Summer. That's a card that, like, we've discussed it a couple times in on Discord. I don't know why this deck plays Veil of Summer. Like, I don't think you need more 2-for-1s in your deck that, like, already destroys Thoughtseize decks because you're just running nothing but 2-for-1s. I just have such a tough time seeing this deck and thinking, like, oh, you know what they really need? That's right, more 2-for-1s. Eladamri Vivian. So am I taking Solitude and getting my Murktide down? Take an Eladamri for a Solitude, add Yorion to hand and play it. I think that's kind of what I have to do. Take Solitude, get Murktide down. Hopefully they 3-for-1 themselves by calling for 2 for 1 themselves by calling for a Solitude, add Yorion. Solitude, ditch the Yorion. That gives me a chance to, like, kinda break even. Kinda. I think it's so you can resolve to Fairy versus Cascade decks because they always have Force or for Grief to protect it before they play it. Yeah, but if they just have, like, Grief on the play or Force on turn 3, because you have to Teferi on turn 3, then it seems like it would be pretty bad. Alright, so I know Ren was their draw for turn. Eldomir's call for Solitude. So I know their hand perfectly. That doesn't do anything. So I think I'm just kill Ren. Am I kill Ren? I might just be attack them. It's a 3-turn clock. Yeah, I think I'm just attack them. Do I care about Vivian? Probably have to care about Vivian, right? This is... Yeah, if they're playing Vivian, they have to be playing the Blink dude. We need Dress Down for, like, everything. But the problem is I don't have enough mana to, like, Dress Down and Mystical Dispute and whatever else. Because they should be going for this Solitude, like, on my upkeep if they're going to go for it. So Vivian Unknown. I can Dress Down and try to find an Unholy Heat. I can just counter this and die to the Vivian. What's our record in the league? We're 1-1. Let's see if they block. Figure maybe because I'm attacking the Ren, they might block this. And then this might dissuade them for going for Vivian on the Renegade Rallier since I'm holding up red mana. Ugh. I guess I can at least, like, sort of time walk. I pay the 3 here. I get to drown in the lock the Renegade Rallier. So I'm not just dead to that. Am I dashing Ragavan? So hand is Vivian, unknown. I could dash Ragavan at them. Still be able to drown the Renegade Rallier. I can dash it to Fairy. But then I can't do anything after that. I think I've got to dash at them and dash at them and drown the Renegade Rallier. Utopia Sprawl. Only hit a forest. How important is this Inquisition? It's worth more than a point of damage here. Glad they didn't decide to endurance me, or endurance themselves. So it looks like it's going to be play Murktide and pray. I was say mill 5 cards and put any number of creatures milled this way into your hand. We need a whiff. We need a whiff on this Vivian so bad. Sure. Yep. All right. Moment of truth. We need bricks. We need Vivian bricks. We need everything. Can they combo off with Yorion? It's like these don't come back till into turn. So this has got to be like Vivian away Yorion for something. Is there a 6-drop they can Vivian for that I care about? Because they didn't use, like, any of their planeswalkers first. Okay. So you're giving me a chance to find an out. I don't know what this out looks like, but... Terminate. That's what the out looks like. It's terminate. Yep. I think that was the only out. Oh, man. Never look. Never look. It's just continual proof that Goldfish is rigged for drama. Can't tell me otherwise. Sure. What are they playing? Yep. It's not good news for Ragavan. Yep. Yeah, I'll take a drown. Oh, baby. I'll just throw away one of these shadows. Or am I throwing away? I guess I'm throwing away the Thoughtseize. That doesn't matter. If I find a fetch land after this drown, I can just slam double shadows. Oh, counter. Try to find a land for the shadows. Or an expressive iteration. That'd be a good one. That's pretty awkward, because if they just play basic Mountain Escape, then Drown doesn't do anything. But if they play Fetch Land and Escape, now we are, as the kids would say, party rockin'. Oh no, I miscounted. No, never mind. Yeah. Yep. All right, so we take Croaks a discard. Throw away Inquisition. Go down to 7. Get more stuff to cast. Jeez, calm down. Five. So need to find... I'm just dead, right? I need to find like Unholy Heat to kill the Croxa. I think that's my only out. Nice. Just how we drew it up, right? Ah, man. What a series of draws. The double hand disruption into the Liliana. On the play. My mother is texting me. Looks like they need help at their house, so I'm going to finish up this league and then probably have to head out after that. Ugh. Better. Just throw back the Turok. Second verse, just like the first. Thoughtseize is fine. Yep. Show me like a Dothy here. It's not a Dothy. It's not. They showed me a different Thoughtseize off the top than that one they just cast, so. Love to see free information. I'm taking the free 2 damage. Probably not. Let me be a little bit better against like an opposing Ragavan. This could get awkward if they've got a bolt, but yeah, I think I can still wait a little bit longer. Nothing I can do to stop myself from having delirium. Hiya. That is, I think, the first time I've ever hit somebody with a hearse. I find a lily. Lily would be a little unfortunate. Yep. On the bright side, if I just top deck a creature that's not not Ledger Shredder, we just win like that. Yeah. I don't know if there was a big draw to them fetching and shocking there. I gotta imagine they had basic swamps in their deck. Or should I be taking that? I should probably take that as meaning they've got Seasoned Pyromancer in their deck. And probably had one in hand there. Because they didn't have the third mana. I think I like that reasoning. A Ragavan. No. All right. Seems like we're both really good at keeping more than one land. Right on cue. Now I've got Drown in the Lock on their turn into untap Iteration. Ooh. Ooh, would have loved to have found a land there. Yep. Alright, what can I discard to give myself Delirium? Just any instant, right? Ditch an EE, so I know the rest of their hand. Alright. Mire to hand, terminate to the bottom, Mire to exile. And I'm just discarding another card to Lily. Discarding Mire. Yeah. That way I can like keep up Unholy Heat this turn in case they have in case they had a Ragavan or something. And then I could also have the Unholy Heat on my turn for Lily. Terminate Lightning Bolt. Terminate Lightning Bolt. Ditching Unholy Heat. Alright. That's really good because now I can play down Shadow. It's bigger than Lightning Bolt. I force the Terminate on it. And then next turn I can play out Murktide plus have Drown in the lockup. Island So Sane. Or So Sane. Yeah. Island Go Sam E. Give me a pronunciation here. Thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're having an awesome Wednesday. Island Go Sam. Island Go Sam E. All of the possibilities are on the table. I think they're just going to take the 5 or... Maybe I want to play the Channeler instead of the Murktide. Notice me, Senpai. I always notice you. I think they'll ban Expressive Iteration in Modern. I think it's probably like on the list, but only if Murktide's percentage keeps rising. What am I doing here? Let's play the Murktide. Wait, can I lose if I play Murktide, let them terminate it? Island, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, welcome everybody. Hope you had an awesome stream. Appreciate everybody hopping over. For those of you who don't know, my name is Michael, or Control Freak on Magic Online. Play a lot of Modern, especially a lot of Death Shadow. Alright, so I think what I'm doing here is play the Murktide, let them terminate it, and then I've just got lethal with Hearse exiling their two cards out of my yard. Channeler played next turn, crew the Hearse. As long as I've got enough cards to exile and keep Delirium. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 2 instants, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 2 instants. Blue, blue. Here's a Murktide. Now I can eat 2 cards out of my graveyard, keep Delirium. So I'm able to play out the Channeler with Delirium, crew the Hearse. After I exile 2 more cards, that's 11 exactly. Protected with Drown in the Lock. Lightning Bolt can't stop either of my guys. And if they don't find like another Terminate, then I'm fine. Giant pet. It's a pretty funny emote. Hadn't seen one like that before. Or it kind of reminds me of the old Pepe emote. I'm pretty sure there was a Pepe one with a pet like that. Maybe I'm going crazy. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's Maybelline. All right. Round number 5. What do we got? We lost a rough one to 4 color. And then our first round loss was to Yawgmoth. So, yeah. 4 color one, we were not too far off of it. Yawgmoth, we got stomped. Hand looks good. Passes our has an answer to turn 1 on the draw. Turn 1 Bragavan on the draw litmus test. Opponent's mulling to 5. That's even better. Mulled to 4. Keep going. One more time. 2 more times. Or they're on Tron and we just like auto lose with this hand. One of the two. Those are the only available options. Or Amulet. Amulet was not on my guesses anywhere. So let's bobble them, because I'm 100% casting this Thoughtseize on turn 1. Thoughtseize you. Take a Pact. Now they've got an Arboreal Grazer, and they get to put a Pact right back, or a Garenbrig. Right, so Channeler. I get the don't play Arboreal Grazer. I don't know if I love it. Is Shredder better than Murktide in this version? Probably because it gives you access to Giganta. And that's about the only reason. Alright, so I'm going to take a point off this Fiery Islet to go ahead and get Shadow down. Mainly because they can't top deck like both a Bounce Land and a Titan this turn. So I know that I'm at least safe for right here. Now, let's kill this, try to get some Delirium going. That can go away. That can stay. So if their 2 blind draws were Bounce Land, green Bounce Land, Titan, we would in fact die. But I'm kind of hoping that's not the case. So So 3, 6, 11 is not lethal. We do not have any draws in the deck that make it so. What is Yawgmoth good for? Just like the free extra threat. Just being able to play another dude that your opponents can't. Alpine Moon terminates. EE. Dress downs. Second Turok on the play is a little bit better. I think on the draw I only want one. Drowning the Lock's a little sus. Fatal Push isn't the greatest. Can trim Ragavan on the draw because of our Boreal Grazer. Let's do like that. But yeah, like Yawgmoth is not good for anything. Like it doesn't do anything on its own. It's more the fact that it's just a free 8th card that for most builds of Death Shadow doesn't have any deck building restrictions to it. Push is better than Ragavan. Push doesn't kill Titan. And I want every removal spell in my deck post board to kill Titan. And like if I'm bringing in Terminate, that's just better than Push across the board because it kills Dryad without needing Revolt, kills Titan. All right. So I might just have to Alpine Moon the bounce land in hand. So if that's the case, let's go ahead and fetch and shock. And kill Dryad, it's not so bad, but it only if I have Revolt. Like, I don't want a situational removal spell in my deck post board when that situational removal spell can't kill Titan. I've already got Unholy Heat in the deck that isn't going to be able to kill Titan a number of the time. I don't want to compound that by including more removal spells post board that might not be able to hit what I want them to hit. So they did show me Simic Growth Chamber, right? Like, you don't want to justify a card by saying, oh, well, it can do this fringe thing some amount of the times. Like, that's not enough to make it good. If I've got a card in the deck post-board, it needs to serve a specific purpose, which in this case, the purpose is kill the creature Primeval Titan. And that should apply to like all of my removal spells post-board. Alright, so I know their last card is in a second copy of our Boreal Grazer. Yep. I could go for upkeep, terminate. I think I like that. Well, I can't very well keep that one as much as I would like to. Okay. Hiya. Alright, so if we find a land, we're going for Turok. If we don't find a land, am I casting the Murktide? Yes. Yes? Maybe I can wait. Maybe I can, like, just cast the Shadow. Is that right? No. I need to go for both of them. I need to get clock going. Like, their 2 draws would have had to have been 6th land plus Titan, exactly. And anything else I don't really care about. Alright. Then here we'll go ahead and play the Turok. Ha 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 ha. And I'm okay trading Ragavan for a Zusa. That's a-okay too. Alright. We'll take it. Wasn't the prettiest 3-2 in the world, but wasn't bad. Murktide didn't look awful. I think I would actually prefer Murktide to the Ledger Shredders. We just got to decide if, like, Murktide itself is enough of a reason not to play Gigantha. But I could see, like, going up to the 3rd Murktide, cutting the Shredder, maybe for some other instant or sorcery. Like a Singleton Consider. I don't think I'd be too upset with that. I don't want to go as deep as going Counterspell. The mana just, like, can't support Murktide plus Counterspell when you've got all this. But Murktide itself is fine. We'll probably explore that a little bit more. So I think a couple of people have, like, talked about putting a couple Murktides in the Shadow list. And it's always been an idea that, like, I wasn't that keen on. And I don't think I'd love it, but we can at least try it. Because, hey, we try everything on this channel. But like I said, I got a text message from my mother. She needs my help. So I got to run. I'm going to send everybody over to Spider Space, who's playing prelim with Grixis Shadow. So if you want to check that out, feel free to stick around, share some love from the channel. As always, if you are liking the content, enjoy the channel, feel free to hit the follow button. Doesn't cost you anything, just lets you know whenever we go live, so you can come see whatever we're testing that day. Otherwise, hope everybody has a fantastic rest of their Wednesday. Stay safe, enjoy some good food and company. Catch y'all back tomorrow. Peace.